When did you decide to leave your successful, careers that you both were doing and said that, life is too comfortable, let's just screw it all up and become entrepreneurs?
During COVID, that was a period there was a lot of disruption that has happened across industry. So that is where we started talking initially regarding the challenges that his organization faced and industry as a whole.
And now there are these tariffs, which is making the whole business of export and import very, very complicated and uncertain. How are you maneuvering these rises and these troughs and this uncertainty?
Those challenges will keep on happening, and today it is tariffs, tomorrow it will be something else. But as a company, we have to be one looking at that how we are safeguarded from these fluctuations that are happening.
What was the most difficult no you heard, and what was the most difficult no you had to say? Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Beyond the Pitch. The endeavor here always is to bring the founders from our portfolio companies at IPB and give insights into the founders, into the business they are building. And the hope is that you, my audience, some of you would be founders, some of you would be investors, to learn the journey, to learn about the people behind the fund, the stories behind the success, some of the challenges that they faced that has brought them here. So today I have with me Aksum, a very interesting startup we invested in 2023, actually an anomaly in the startup investing world. They have grown exponentially before our investment, since our investment, and have been profitable largely throughout, right? And so growth exponentially with profitability, I think that's a holy grail that many of these startups try to chase, and Aksum has been able to successfully accomplish it. How? We will be talking more about it. As a product, what they do is it's a supply chain as a service. They are connecting the large companies with the smaller players, democratizing the ability of the people to play at a bigger scale. So with this, I will start with my two guests today. I have Sumit and Ankit. Sumit was working for Power to SME, another large startup in this space, and brings years of experience of his own entrepreneurship journey. And I have Ankit. He is the IIT Kharagpur alum who has since then worked as a CEO of a steel company, who has worked in a retail setup. So somebody who comes again with a lot of experience, whether it comes to sales, whether it comes to industry, whether it comes to business. So welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Beyond the Pitch. Awesome. So let me just start right off the bat, because we are called Beyond the Pitch. So I'll use a lot of cricket anomalies. When did you decide to leave your successful, careers that you both were doing? You were at Power to SME, you were the CEO of the steel company, if I remember correctly, and said that, life is too comfortable, let's just screw it all up and become entrepreneurs.
So, during COVID, that was a period when we realized there was a lot of disruption that has happened across industries on the supply chain part. And both Ankit and me, we met around 2017, 2018, and we were on the other side of the tables, working across many business transactions. We were both, he was representing his organization while I was representing Power to SME at that time. So that is where we started talking initially regarding the challenges that his organization faced and industry as a whole was looking at. And during COVID, those challenges got amplified. So it was post-COVID around 2021, middle and end of 2021, that we both decided that this is something that we both feel passionately about, that this is something, a white space which was available on the B2B landscape, and we wanted to do something on it. So 2021 end is when we decided that let's screw it up, the comfortable life, and let's start doing it.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been before also. So it's not the first time I've taken this decision. So I was in a plus job of investment banking with the biggest investment bank of India, SBI Capital Markets. I took a decision to start a new venture and built up the biggest online grocery company in the country by year 2015. But after that, things changed, moved to the corporate world. So this was, you can say, an innings two for me, and I was always thinking about it to start something of my own. So it happened by chance because COVID gave us a lot of time to introspect. So that is where the problems were there, the introspection was there, the experience was there, the learnings were there. It was the time to just to patch up everything, and right people met at the right moment and started the right thing probably.
You know, finding a co-founder is one of the toughest things. How has your journey, because you don't have the advantage of being college friends, school friends, husband, wife, right? Although I think that is one of the toughest co-founding relationship that can exist. But you were people who met at a conference, right? What gave you the confidence? Because today a lot of founders have a challenge. They want to bring in a co-founder, but this stops them. The question is to both of you. What gave you the confidence that you were right for each other? And when did you have your first fight after becoming a co-founder?
No, so we had fights before.
But they were
Before
not as
itself.
co-founders. They were not as co-founders.
So when we both started our, you can say, the relationship, it was not on the same side of the table. It was always on the other side of the tables, and we were actually the viewpoints did match at many places. But what we found was that he is right at his own position or representing his company, and vice versa. He at least says so that he felt the same for me also. So what we found was that we both have a very, very complementary skill set. We are not competing with each other. I'm from an investment banking side, from an e-commerce side. He is totally from an entrepreneurship side, from the EPC side, from the business side. So that's what we didn't think so much. It was over a cup of coffee, I think, where we met and we took the decision. We didn't even discuss with our families, respective families.
My family knew that I was
Okay,
going for
so-
this. That I called
His
him.
family will know now that your family came up with information and his did. You need to buy a good bag.
So it was over a Starbucks coffee that we
Yeah.
both met, and we discussed that this is something that we should do. And like he said, we both came from a very complementary skill set. So, and one of a very important advice that I always remember is that you should collaborate with people who bring value to your skill set also. So that was something that was very important in my.
You should hire better than yourself, and you
Yes,
should
you should,
partner
yes.
with people who are better than yourself.
Yes. So that was where I think the decision was easier for me. And obviously, we had our fights, we had seen difference of opinions, and how we both made representation to each other when we had those fights. So I thought that is how we should
In
be
fact,
partners now.
that in fact brings me to another point that we were actually discussing with another investor who didn't invest in the company, and we actually the deal was broken by the lawyer
Okay.
because he was too finicky about the legal points, not the commercial ones, and we were pissed off with him so much. But just 3-4 months before, we were talking about hiring a lawyer, and we both said, "Usko le."
Who sold the deal?
So it's like even if you are fighting or you are it's the viewpoint, the difference is there, but the value always comes back that yes,
No,
he was right.
I totally agree. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're passionate about something, difference of opinion is bound to happen. What is very important is, well, how do you make it work for your company versus, it being working against each other.
There has to be a common objective.
I mean, there is a reason why we have created our boardroom in our office soundproof, because Vinay, Mitesh and I sit there once a month and we have some very deep, passionate discussions. So if any third party outsider here, they will be like, okay, what is happening here? But we are all bringing our viewpoints, and in the end, we walk out of the room with a single strategy. So I think difference of opinion is actually very important. My first fight with my wife, for example, happened when our kid was born, because the first time there was something I felt very, that my opinion should be heard. Other than that, I was very willing to accept whatever was coming, right? So those are very good. Now let's moving base. Okay. Aksum happened, you identified this as a gap, you wanted to solve for it. Now the world has changed in the last 4 years. There are stories about India rising, India shining. There is a rise of Bharat, right? Which I think is a very big part of your business, because many of your suppliers, even purchasers, are coming not just from tier one, but spread across tier two, tier three. And now there are these tariffs, which is making the whole business of export and import very complicated and uncertain. How are you maneuvering these rises and these troughs and this uncertainty? So, Sumit, I'll start with you, and then Ankit, anything you want to add?
One part of our business is that we have safeguarded it from any kind of commodity risks or forex fluctuations, and because we don't keep any inventory, we don't hold any inventory. So we as an organization are safeguarded from it, that any kind of fluctuations across the commodity markets that is happening, we don't take a hit. Everything is back to back built in the business model, that whatever is the customer on a real time basis is demanding, on a real time basis it is getting mapped with a supplier. So there is no delta that we earn over a commodity risk. So having said that, yes, these uncertainties obviously add on to the business, you can say uncertainty for us also, because we don't know how the business planning will work out for the month, for the quarter, in terms of how the industry is shaping up. Like you're saying, the recent problem statement of tariffs, a lot of export consignments are getting cancelled. A lot of, you can say, packaging as in product, plastic, polymers is extensively used in packaging. So we are seeing that how that industry is facing those challenges, and then there are demand drops that are happening, prices are falling, but then there are no buyers for it. So those challenges will keep on happening, and today it is tariffs, tomorrow it will be something else, because now the world is so much integrated with all the countries that we expect these things to happen. But as a company, we have to be one looking at that how we are safeguarded from these fluctuations that are happening across the industry.
Well, I feel that
I also want to know how you're using this as an opportunity.
that's what I was coming to. So yes, these are problems, but I would say that we are here because these problems exist.
Absolutely.
So this is actually widening our opportunity base, and the entire Indian ecosystem of these SMEs, the small corporates, promoter-driven companies, they are very, very, very adaptive and resilient. So they change also quickly, and they know that okay, these things are coming, they'll adapt to it, and that's what helps us also keeping a pace. So the way the technology is changing, the way AI is coming up, it is taking over everything. So that's how people are also now mindful of that they have to adapt to this change, they have to adapt to this technological change, and that is where they are valuing us more, because we have a head start ahead of them, and we are giving them the business. We are not taking away anything from them. So we are empowering the SMEs. We are empowering those people who have least overheads. So they are the best priced people from where we can buy. So it's increasing the opportunity.
I love it, because in every problem is an opportunity.
Yeah.
When Vinay and I, we both were outside India, we moved back, and the problem was, being CAs, we did not have the IIT badge with us, and our problem was कि यार deal कहाँ से लाएं? That was our challenge. There were a lot of deals, but not much filtration was happening, not much DD was happening. That was our problem, and we realized that nobody is solving the problem. So we decided to solve the problem. So in problem is an opportunity. If tariffs become a problem to export, then that good is now available to you for cheap, which can then fuel the domestic demand. Or you can export to East or Middle East,
New
and
markets
new markets can be
opened up.
And we have done this all our lives.
You've done also.
So the experience is all there. We just need to pick up that leaf out of the book and say, let's implement that. So me and Sumit, we generally discuss that this is a problem we faced. We faced together when we were doing a cross-border deal. So let's do this here. यहाँ पे screw up नहीं होना चाहिए. So that's what actually helps us.
Absolutely. Now, in a business like yours, your buyers are trusting you for three major things. best prices, best quality, and timely delivery. They don't want to screw up their supply chain because there was some problem somewhere because of which delays happened. You are running operations pan India. You're also into importing and exporting and all of those things. How are you ensuring how much of tech is part of it, how much of it experience is part of it? So, how are you ensuring timeliness? How are you ensuring quality? How are you ensuring pricing?
So I would say the to sum it up in one word, I would say standardization of process. So that is what we already aim at. That whatever process is there or non-existent or loose process or failed process because of which the inefficiencies are there between the supply chains, the deliveries of the goods or the procurement of the large corporates. That is where we come into the picture. We standardize that process, that how we can remove those inefficiencies, and it's not a one shoe fit all strategy. In one way, if we are solving it for scrap, it will be a different strategy. If we are solving it for construction material, it will be a different strategy. We are solving it for recycled polymer, it's a totally different strategy. So me and Sumit, our role is the crisis management and process standardization, that the crisis don't arise. So we get a new learning every day and we evolve it. We are not pushed back by it, but we evolve and we make the process better in some way, which is then implemented by the team. So that is, and technology plays a big role in that, and that's the head start that we have apart from the others. I would say who took the technology first and business second approach. We built the business first and then build the technology around that business. That okay, this is the problem, build this technology. This is the problem, build this technology. We evolved technology.
And the biggest, not the biggest, but one of the biggest problems I've seen in this sector is working capital. Your buyers are large companies, they will have their own payment cycles. Your suppliers are smaller players, they will rather work on advance, which kind of makes you not just not the chain, but it also is a chain that you have to manage very tightly in working capital. And the startups which are not able to manage the working capital at scale, I have seen those startups struggling and eventually failing. And I should say touchwood, because I think this is something which has been your strength. You have been able to manage working capital very well. I have a lot of B2B startups. Is there a secret sauce to working capital management for B2B startups?
So first of all,
Make it a master class.
So first of all, thank you for acknowledging that yes, we have done something which is different than what the industry is doing. But yes, working capital is, so I'll have to very frankly say this is something that Ankit is very good at, because his experience of SBI Capital came in very handy. His relationships across the banking industry has been extremely helpful for Aksum to grow. And I would actually want him to speak more on this because he is very good at managing and creating those working capital solutions for the organization to grow.
See, I mean, to say the secret sauce per se, so that was, you can say, the first pillar of our association and building this organization, that we are going to build it with the bricks of profitability. And once there is profitability, the banks easily come, because they are chasing people who are profitable. They also want business. So we are actually, they are not doing any favor to us, but we are actually giving them what they want, in the manner what they want, in a package what they want. So that is where you can say our skill set was that he was good at business, I was good at fundraising. So we said that okay, you concentrate on that business, I'll concentrate on this one, and let's take the cheapest route of capital rather than the costliest route of capital, which we took from you. So, but that is the base to have equity also, to have the debt also, because banks see what are the marquee investors. That's one major checkbox that the banks tick. That okay, marquee investors are there, professional people are there, the business model is good, and the profit is there. And that's what, I mean, we have been concentrating on these small things, and eventually the banks have been very good, and they've been supporting us, good partners with us, and I mean, we have to discuss with them openly and be transparent. That is what I can say. The more you are transparent in your business,
But then also other part of your business is in working capital. One is the financing part, but then the other is the account receivables part. Where I have seen businesses screwing up is their account receivable days just piling up. How have you been able to manage that? Because you work a lot, many times even on advance. Uh, why are others not being able to do it if you guys can do it?
Uh, Two things I would say that one is obviously the quality of the customers. Uh, Most of the B2B business, so this was actually something that we identified as a problem statement in the B2B industry, that most of the B2B businesses, when they start, they aim to buy from large corporates and sell to the smaller enterprises. And smaller enterprises obviously come with their own challenges in terms of, yes, unorganized sector, the financial discipline.
So that is what you're saying, that all the unicorns or the soon unicorns that we know, they are currently their suppliers are big companies and their buyers are smaller companies, and hence the working capital account receivable challenge is there.
Is there. We flipped the model. We said we will work with the larger corporates because supply chain issues exist on their side as well. They find it problematic to work with many enterprises, smaller enterprises, from where they buy the material. So there has to be a bridge between an organization which can aggregate the procurement from the large corporates. So we flipped the model, and even the banks actually were very happy that yes, there are A-rated, double A-rated, triple A, triple B plus rated clientele that we are working with. Second is when the clientele realizes that you are not simply a working capital solution provider in their supply chain. You are actually solving a problem for them. So you become a priority when the payment cycles are happening with those large corporates. So that priority wise, we obviously, I would not say at the top, but yes, we are among the top 10 companies that they are working with. Yes, Aksum should be a priority while the working capital rotation is happening, so that when we want to go and buy back from them, they should be available to us. So these two things actually worked in our favor, that the large corporates realized, yes, the Aksum is not a working capital solution provider, but a problem solver for us in the supply chain.
And that, Ankur, also comes with the you can say the learning and the experience that we had, because when I was the CEO of that steel company, we had a turnover of 5,000 crores. So there was no need for us to have somebody who was giving us the material. We thought that we know it all. I mean, our procurement department is good enough. But being a CEO, I could see that there are still inefficiencies which are not solved. The transparency issue was so big, and it exists today also with all the large corporates. The transparency issue, and that is where, when the material was coming through his company, we were okay that there is, the material is coming without any leakages or anything. So that is something which we identified at that particular point also, that these are the problems faced by the large corporates also, which others could not identify. So that was something that gave us the.
So for the benefit of my B2B founders especially, and for those who are looking to build business in this space, and as investors, as we analyze, few things that are very clear. A, non-negotiable: build a profitable business or get to the profitability soon. Banks do want to lend, large, good public sector banks also want to lend to good, profitable, growing companies. Get good names on your cap table, because that's a very important check, right? But at the same time, also focus on the credit worthiness, credit rating of your buyers. All business is not good business, because it may temporarily inflate your revenue numbers, but if it comes back and hits you onto your account receivable days, all your margins will get eradicated. Your profitability will go for a shot if it becomes loss making. So these are some of the important things. Moving on, there is a saying: your success is not defined by the number of times you say yes. It's defined by the number of times you say no. So what was the most difficult no you heard, and what was the most difficult no you had to say? And don't talk about when you both and I were discussing your salaries. That's no is not counted.
I'll take up the no we heard. You say the no because you are the one who says no. And
You're the one who hears no.
so heard no is actually I would not say Aksum, but I would say in my
Yes,
entrepreneurial journey.
It can be your journey.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it has been in my entrepreneurial journey that the startup that I built before this, which was the biggest e-commerce e-grocery player at that point of time,
What is it called?
askmegrocery.com.
So you have a love for the words ask.
Yes.
You have some love for these words.
Yes. It can be coincidence also. So we were there in 35 cities, 3,000 people, 350 crores top line, but we were bleeding. But we were not profitable. And one fine day, the investor says that I can't put up more, and he says no. So that no was actually that echoed me for good 5 years to start my second innings with saying that whatever we are building, we'll be building it with our own profits. The salaries don't have to depend upon the investors' money. So the month end should be peaceful, and that's actually gave us the biggest learning that if that is the case, then we build, otherwise we won't build. And we built it, we were successful at it, and we were able to say no to the other businesses or the opportunities that were coming by. So we can tell more about that.
So again, going back to the Ankit, to the previous experience, the difficult no that I had to say was because in my previous organization I was part since you can say day one or day zero, and leaving that organization after a decade when the founder wanted or didn't want you to go,
Yes.
and I had to say no to, yes, I can't stay. So that was a very difficult. It took me almost a year to actually.
And yeah, because you leave money on the table, you leave relationships, you leave experience. Although everybody understands that, they also left some job to start what they have started, right? But yes, people feel bad and.
Yes, that is there. But now as a founder, we do realize that, yes, this is a journey that it's a 360-degree that you will keep on facing in your career. Let's hope.
So that one was not difficult for me because my promoters or the founders, they said if you are starting something of your own, go ahead.
Absolutely.
So that was a very big and bold statement which I still remember. And when any of our employees says that to us, that I'm not going to your competition, but I'm starting something of my own. So that actually gives us a proud feeling that okay, yes, we have mentored him or he has learned something from him which is applying in his real life.
I mean, look at PayPal.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
a lot of just the number of companies that have come out of people who started PayPal.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just incredible story. Flipkart has done the same. Number of companies started by people who previously worked for Flipkart, came out of it and started new companies.
I mean, there should be an alumni meet of all these.
There is. Many of them are investors on our platform. Okay. So it is also called as IPV events. Okay. So no, excellent. Moving on, one of the, one advice that you have received either pre-Aksum, post-Aksum that has stuck around with you, and I will go to both of you one by one. And I'm putting you in some spots also with these questions, right? Any piece of advice that has stuck with you and that has guided you, because I always tell my founders, suno sabki, karo apni, because at the end of the day, you have the most to lose, most to gain. But listen to everybody. Don't be just blindsided, just don't wear horse shields and don't listen. It is important to have conviction, keep building. That's why we are putting money in you. But listen to people. Maybe they make you see a side that you were not seeing before. So anything that you would like to share there?
So for me, that's more of a philosophy as well as the advice or a saying that I follow. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is king. So the whole business has to be built around it. Don't look at the top line, look at your bottom line only, and always have cash in the bank, because you need not be out of cash, because the day you are out of cash, is the desperation that kicks in.
Yes.
That desperation that makes you take decisions that you will regret over a longer period of time. So these three things are something that I always.
Mitesh, also one of my co-founders, he always quotes this.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
So for me, this was this thing which was told to me by my dad only in his business days on a dinner table कि कमाई बेचने में नहीं है, कमाई खरीदने में. So and that's what we are doing here. When we are buying from the SMEs, so we are able to get a profit. If we would have been buying from large corporates, they are not going to give us even anything out of their pound of fish. So that's what we are following. So profit from procurement, not from the sales.
Coming, I heard that you are changing the name of your company. So I know the story behind why it's Aksum. It's Ankit and Sumit.
No, it isn't.
It is not.
It is not.
It is coincidental.
Coincident. That is also coincidental.
So it's not your love for Aks.
No.
It is not Ankit and Sumit. Okay.
So the story behind it is that when we were looking for names, there were two names that we shortlisted. One was Fidus. So Fidus is a Latin word which means trustworthy. So that was a name that we liked. That yes, we are building something that we are asking organizations to trust us. And the other name that since we were into trading of commodities, so we looked at something that existed at a very large scale. And we came across Aksum as an empire that existed century 1 to century 10, almost for 1,000 years.
In India.
Now modern day Ethiopia.
Modern day Ethiopia.
Now, currently. So
And it was a trading empire.
And it was a trading empire across multiple categories, multiple commodities of those times. So we like that concept that it lasted for almost 10 centuries.
That's a beautiful reason. Why change?
I changed. Okay. So I changed because I happened to go in one of our socializing event of our Jains, and there somebody asked me like, "What's your company's name?" And I said that it's Aksum, and he was from the eastern side of India. So generally these people say "sure" instead of "sir," and he said, "Okay, Aksham." So I was like, "No, it's Aksum." No, Aksham. And that very moment, it was like opposite of Saksham is Aksham. So I was like, I straight away messaged Sumit that it's pronounced like Aksham. We need to do something. So he said, okay, suggest a name. So we are contemplating, and we might change it to, we'll change A to E, Aksum, that we see everybody with a parity, Aksaman. So Aksum is what we are going to recoin it.
Very interesting. Awesome. Okay. From where you see yourselves today, how do you see the B2B industry in India over the next 5 years with everything that you know and all the uncertainties that you don't know? So what are the major changes? What are the growth triggers? How do you expect this industry to evolve? And what are the current challenges that either you are solving or you need them to be solved?
See, first of all, I would come to the hard things first. The other things Sumit can mention. But I am foreseeing a lot of consolidation in this industry because there are a lot of people working in a lot of spaces which are non-core or not profitable or burning money. So I'm foreseeing a lot of consolidation happening in this space in maybe next couple of years or 3 to 5 years.
And that is not only in the organized B2B. Even the unorganized B2B might merge with the organized B2B because those are
That would be big.
Those are
And
opportunities.
GST is already making it much simpler now to bring things from unorganized to organized.
There's another thing that will happen that
So then IPO is on cards.
See, we are profitable. Even before the regulations, we were okay, and we could have done the IPO. We are just waiting for a bit more scale. But yes, definitely.
IPO is authorized.
Excellent. I mean, as investors, there couldn't have been better news, and there could not have been a better way to end our session today. So thank you, Sumit.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Ankit.
Ankit.
Love
What you're building. Love how you're building it. And as we go through your growth journey, we would welcome a lot more seasoned investors coming, joining our journey to take it up, to help us then get to the journey and become that important cog in the big supply chain problem that is eating away a lot of industries. um, India is blessed to have a strong domestic demand, but there are challenges, and it's glad to know that you're solving it, like we say, one transaction at a time. So from all of us at IPV, um, us, the investors, our employees, our stakeholders, our well-wishers, we wish you all the best. Thank you. There's a small thing which I would appreciate if you guys can just sign. This is like our finale. It goes up on the wall there. Any message you have for us and our investors, would love that. I've always taken pride that I have the worst handwriting in the world. Ankit, you'll come close second.
Yes. That is when I have tried to write in a good.
Awesome. No, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.